The Gambian leader renews his government's commitment for nation building during the Independence Parade. Public disapproves government's public gathering suspension plans. And contrary to Sidia Jatta's pronouncement, some Gambians say their independence is worth celebrating. These and more coming on Gambia24. Stay tuned. Good evening, you're watching Gambia24 with me, Sohna Tunkara. Many thanks for joining us. And now to our news in detail. As Gambia clocks 56 this year, the country celebrates it in a low-key form due to the coronavirus pandemic at the Makati Square in Banjul. Speaking at this celebration, President Adama Barrow says this year's celebration will usher Gambia into a third republic and the end of the current transition phase under his leadership. Amin Dao files in this report.
The Gambia's attainment of political independence on 18 February 1965 was chiefly about sovereignty, self-determination, freedom, with a view to enhance the well-being of the Gambian people. The President, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, renewed his government's commitment to protect the rights and freedoms of Gambian people.
Working with the various arms of government and the security sector, my administration will continue to defend the sovereignty of the country and protect the freedoms and liberties of the people. On the other hand, we encourage all Gambian citizens to make use of those liberties to exploit the existing opportunities, promote positive socio-political values, and engage in activities that enhance national development.
This year's celebration will usher President Adama Barrow's final term in office unless if he is elected for another 5 terms in the upcoming December 2021 election. The Gambian leader highlighted some of the unwavering challenges his government overcome in the last 12 months amidst COVID-19 pandemic.
It marks the end of our 3-year national development plan. Second, it is the target year to usher in the Third Republic. Third, it is the year to elect a president and mark the end of the current transition phase under my leadership. Despite all challenges, we should note that obstacles that tend to slow down progress can actually inspire us further and strengthen our determination to succeed. This was demonstrated as we confront the 2020 challenges, and we are more determined today than ever.
Independence Day celebrations are held on the 18th February of each year, which marks the day when Gambia gained full independence from the colonial Britain in 1965. Usually, the day is celebrated in grand style with a march past by school children, security services, and cross-section of Gambians in different parts of the country. However, this year's independence celebration was greatly disrupted by the presence of the coronavirus pandemic in the country. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Amindao.
The Gambian leader renews his commitment to the nation ahead of the 2021 December election. Now, still on the Gambia's independence celebration that is held in low-key COVID-19 pandemic, which restricts the attendees compared to previous years, some Gambians argue that independence is not worth celebrating, but to others, nationhood is laudable.
Sidia Jatta, Woolly West parliamentarian, Gambians to celebrate Independence Day when the country is burdened with about $67 billion in debts. Contrary to CDS pronouncement, our Bojang feels the exorbitant loan the country owes shouldn't make citizens all day.
To my own understanding, a nation that is having loans. There are lots of different countries that are having loans, but still they're celebrating their nationhood day. So I think Gambia should not be an exception. We should celebrate independence.
Ibrahim Saho, a businessman, also expresses his commitment to celebrating independence.
We are happy to witness yet another independence. This is worth celebrating because we are all Gambians, and if we have our own independence and the day comes, you always have to thank the Almighty. According to history, we all knew what transpired, how our great-grandparents suffered in the hands of colonial masters. So if God gave us freedom from the hands of the British, then that alone is a great achievement.
The Gambia's independence celebration comes normally in grand style as hundreds of people will grace the event with cultural performances and march past by servicemen, students and locals. Due to the increase in corona cases in the country, Babukar Ngom says he prefers an indoor celebrations.
I feel so happy with this independence because
I feel so happy to witness yet another Independence Day because it was this day that the Gambia got its independence. The Gambia should celebrate independence as this is the only day that we have as Gambians. I really feel emotional. When we were much younger, this day meant a lot to us. When it was 17th, we did not usually have enough sleep because we were always eager for the 18th. We walked kilometers just to attend the independence celebration. But with this pandemic, we could just sit at home and celebrate it because cases are on the rise daily. And as far as cases are increasing, there should not be any gathering.
The Gambia gained independence as a constitutional monarchy that remained part of the Commonwealth, but in 1970 became a presidential republic. Sadauda Jawara was elected the first president on 24 April 1970 when the Gambia became a republic and remained in the position until 1994. He was overthrown by the former president Yahya Jammeh on the basis of mismanagement of public funds and corruption allegations. For iAfrica News, I am Fatoumata Kasim.
Contrary to Syria Jatta's pronouncement that the nation celebrating independence is unworthy, many Gambians argue that celebrating nationhood is a worthy cause. Now, from that report by Fatoumata Kasim, after the government announced it will suspend all political events and other forms of public gatherings in the country effective 8th of March 2021, Africa TV's Ndai Sise went out to sort the public reaction on the latest announcement, and she files in this report.
The Gambia is currently experiencing a resurgence in the number of coronavirus cases since the beginning of February 2021. The pandemic has impacted almost all sectors in the country. Many Gambians, including human rights activists, have raised concerns over the ongoing public events in different parts of the country. To this effect, the Gambia government says it will suspend issuing police permits for all political events and other forms of gatherings in the country beginning 8th of March 2021. The move is aimed to contain the spread of the virus in the country, but some Gambians, including Abba Sise, did not welcome the decision, saying the government should reconsider its decision. He says they should have informed the public prior before imposing such regulations.
President Barrow should reconsider his decision again. This new regulation of stopping people from ceremonies and programs is impossible. In fact, he should have first talked to the public about his regulation before taking any action, because you cannot ask someone to sit at home without giving them anything. Barrow is our president, but he is doing something that Gambians are not happy with. We are pleading to the president to help Gambians because we are tired.
President Adama Barrow on January 30th launched his National People's Party at the Independence Stadium, where thousands of party supporters and sympathizers gathered to celebrate the event. Sergio Konate, a vendor at Serekunda Market, says if President Barrow already launched his party without considering the presence of COVID-19, then he should also allow other programs to take place.
President Barrow went out for a nationwide tour. He launched his party with the presence of COVID-19, and he now wants to suspend public gatherings. This country belongs to all of us. We were all born here, and we are all equal. If you ask people to sit at home, then I think you should give them something to eat.
Also speaking to iAfrica TV, Bakari Kamara says political events should be allowed to go ahead, arguing that it has nothing to do with COVID-19.
President Barrow and his people have done their political events, then let them allow others too to do their own, because politics has nothing to do with corona. If anyone is going out, you can cover your mouth. That is nothing. To condemn all those things in the country is very wrong. It should not have happened.
The world continues to battle against the pandemic, as many countries, including the Gambia, are witnessing more infections despite the rolled-out vaccines. The Gambia has on Wednesday recorded 41 new cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 4,510, with one new death recorded. The total number of deaths in the country now stands at 139, according to the latest update from the Ministry of Health. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Daisy.
Gambians react to the announcement of the ban on public gatherings by the government effective on next month on the 8th. Viewers will now go with a short commercial break and the news continues.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put into constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
If you're just tuning in, this is Gambia24 with me, Sohna Tunkara, and now to the rest of our stories. The OIC Gambia Secretariat and its partners, including the Department of Physical Planning, Department of Lands and Surveys, and the National Roads Authority, have begun a property assessment and valuation exercise along the Barton-Harding Highway and other identified 50-kilometer urban roads within the Greater Banjul area. The exercise commenced on February 1st, 2021 and is expected to last for 3 months, according to a statement from the Secretariat Office. The objective of the assessment exercise is to identify properties that will be affected by the road construction projects and acquire some information relating to land ownership to ensure that the proper procedures is followed, and the media release added. According to the OIC, Gambia Secretariat and its partners solicit the cooperation of the public, particularly beneficiary communities. From that, a powerful dust continued to overwhelm the Gambia as a result of a haze coming from the Sahara Desert on Wednesday. The high dust density of the off-white color-tinted air is seen across the country, and it can have grave impact on health and the aviation system. Our team visited the Banjul International Airport to see how they have been affected by the haze.
The weather phenomenon does not just bring warm temperature, but it also raises sun and dust, and as a result affects the aviation system. Haze dust caused by heavy winds is coming northeastern from the Sahara Desert to the Gambia. In such circumstances, the aviation system suffers greatly as it suppresses horizontal visibility. These could even lead to plane crashes and other deadly outcomes when the haze thickens. In an interview with the head of the Focus Office at the Banjul International Airport, who prefers anonymity, says it's the coronavirus pandemic that overshadows the effect of this wing on Gambia's aviation system.
Due to the COVID and its problems, we're not having much flights, especially during the day. So you will not have that much impact on aviation, or you will not feel that there's impact so much on aviation. But like if we're having normal routines and then like flights are coming, you would see impact, because in busier aerodromes where you have a lot of aircrafts, dust haze affects visibility. That's how far you can see horizontally. So if it affects that, it gets to a point, you would see that flights will not even will be cancelled. Aerodromes would deem it fit to cancel flights coming into the aerodrome because it would not be safe. It will not be safe, especially in busier aerodromes, because flights will be crossing paths. Some are taking off, some are landing on different routes, so they may crash because they are not seeing clearly.
Haze is a harmful weather factor to aviation during busy period. If the haze thickens significantly, some flights are even called off or diverted to other countries.
Dust would occur, but like in the rainy seasons, it's like almost rare. In the rainy season, it's rare, because usually we get like dust in this Hamatan or our dry season. Usually we get winds. This is the time we get winds coming northeasterly. That is winds coming from the northeastern sector of the continent. And like up there in the north, we have the Sahel. Within the Sahel, there is a big desert, as we all know, and it's a major dust source region. That's where the dust gets lifted. So at this time of the year, there are systems like the pressure cells, high pressure cells, and so the mid-latitude, those are the ones which, when it drops down over the Sahel, like up to Mauritania, it will instigate, when it passes, after that when you are monitoring, you can see dust raising. And then like the high pressure cells now, when like they extend way down over Mauritania and the Sahel region, you see dust would be raised over that end. So now after that, you now look at the winds that are propagating from there, especially we have these hectopascal levels we call the 925 level. Look at winds at that place. If those strong winds are very strong, like up 20 to 30 knots or more, and then they are northeasterly propagating from that end towards us, you expect it to bring along the dust that was raised around that Sahel over the desert.
The haze storm is caused by a strong wind that blows in a high concentration of sand and dust particles from the Sahara Desert. However, systems are put in place to monitor the wind trajectories.
The wind trajectories and like this high pressure cell I've told you of, and then like the mid-latitude trough. The mid-latitude trough coming like dropping all the way up to the Sahel region, and so over us, we'll now look at those features, like because we get systems that will be forecasting the position of those things for us.
It will last for at least 4 days before the dust settles off, meaning this could affect countries covered by the Sahara Desert to have delay or disruption in flights before everything goes back to normalcy. For Africa TV News, Sohna Tunkara. Well, that was all for